And so talk about like, why was it important for you to have to face that challenge? Why was it significant in your life?
To have what challenge?
To have faced that challenge of suddenly having to figure out where you're going to get that team mentality, that competitive aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just realize that, again, youngest of five, two brothers immediately older than me that were really competitive and loved to play. So from day one, I was competing. I mean, again, maybe not as a 1-year-old, but by the time I was 4 or 5, I was trying to beat my brothers in something, and I was just losing over and over again. I wasn't going to beat a kid when I'm 5, I'm not beating a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. And so, I mean, I love that though, that I was always playing against better competition. I was always playing, against my brothers or with my brothers. But I also, we love each other. We get along really well. As kids, for the most part, we did. We had our, brother fights, but once you graduate and aren't on the team anymore, that competitive nature doesn't just go away. You still want to have it. And what type of outlet? I could play video games. I play occasionally, but I didn't want that to be my focus. I would have rather, I love, like I said, being outside, doing things with the ball in my hands or on my foot. And so it was really important. We realized, my wife and I, hey, if I'm not doing something like this, I'm not going to be as fun to be around. I mentioned that earlier, adding value to people, being a team player and having a good attitude. And I want that in my marriage as well. And so giving myself the opportunity to play, even on a rec league softball team on Thursday nights, sometimes meets that need that I have. And so that's why it was really important. It was a challenge to find the opportunity to keep playing, but it was really important for us to do so.
Yeah. So you felt like that was just a way to be true to your personality and to what you had always been as a person.
Yeah. I mean, that it'd be tough to remove something that's been instilled in you for 20 years and it just be complete. At that point, it was a part of who I was. It's a great way to phrase it. Sports and competitiveness was just a part of who I was. And so I didn't want to lose that. So, and there's a lot of ways you can go. 3 or 4 years ago, I ran a marathon with a buddy. And he and I trained together. So he and I had that opportunity to really push each other and challenge each other and enjoy one another in our runs. When you run a marathon, you gotta put the time, effort, and energy into it, or you're gonna flop. And so that's what we did.
Sure.
And so none of these things I'm telling you I've done alone. Not one of them. So much of them are done in community. And for me, that's maybe the most important part of it. I've mentioned that competitive edge. Yeah, I like competition, but I think the community aspect of it is actually more important to me to have that outlet than even the competitive outlet. But if they can go hand in hand, then it's an extra win.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Well, Stephen, that was all the questions that I had for you today. I'm going to toss it back to you here and let you close this out with any final thoughts that you had on this intersection between sport and character.
Yeah, I think I've said it once. I've probably said it 8 times, but I think it's just really, hey, how can you, the people around you, whether it be in your work or on the field or in the classroom, how can you add value to what they're doing? And how can you be someone that they enjoy being around? And so much of that is really, it doesn't take a skill set. It takes a positive attitude and it takes hard work. And if you can do those things, I think you're going to be someone that people would call a good teammate and someone they want to be their teammate.